Hello, I have returned to YouTube, back again with the Arkham Knight remake series. So basically this is a series where I am remaking the Arkham Knight map in MagicaVoxel. It's a voxel program. It's kind of like Minecraft, but there's like ray tracing. It's crazy. You'll see. I already have like two or three episodes out now that you can go check out. The last episode was really cool, and this episode's gonna be even cooler. I'm saying that because I'm recording this intro after I've done it, and I can tell you that it's really cool. You gotta watch it. And in today's video, we're actually going to be working on the Grand Avenue station. So that's what this area is going to be. I've already set up the road layout and the elevation because it's kind of boring. I might have some footage in the background of like what it's like. It took forever. It's boring. Anyways, I may actually be changing the format of these videos, but before I go into that and start building and talk about what I'm going to do with this series, I do want to thank my supporters that I've gotten so far. So this includes stuff like the Ko-Fi page as well as super thanks on the channel. So we have Jonathan Baker, Barely Regal, Captain Alex, and Heir of Azrael. Heir of Azrael, of course, is one of my best friends, and we are working together on a Minecraft Gotham map that's going to have an entire story that I really want to get into on this channel as well. It's going to be really cool, but I don't want to get into it because there's a lot of stuff to cover in this video. Okay, so I am going to do a bit of a sketch. I don't think I need to do a sketch for every single episode of this series, but I just want to do a sketch here because I honestly don't know exactly what I want to do differently from the game. So I'm going to sketch it out and see if, I don't know, anything happens. And that actually brings me to another big point of this video while I'm doing this sketch. So the last way I was doing the video was I was doing live streams of doing the block, the second episode. And the idea was that I would do the live stream or, build off camera or whatever, and then kind of record snippets of it and do maybe a little bit of time lapses. And then afterwards I would do an actual commentary over why I did what I did and all that type of stuff. And I think that was, in theory, that sounds really smart. Okay, you get the thing done and then you record your progress while you're doing it. It was actually a lot of work to basically go back and explain everything that I did and all that detail, and then actually find something to put on screen while I'm explaining it. And that kind of leads me to what I want to do now. So instead of just recording everything without any commentary, I just want to do it all in one go. I want to get really good at doing it all in one go and just pushing it out. My new idea for this, and I hope I can demonstrate that in this video, it really depends on how I'm going to edit it. I want to just do quick segments, quick stuff going on, and I actually want to implement other topics into the video that aren't even related to the Voxel Gotham. I want to talk about other topics. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Superman trailer and the future of the Batman universe and that whole saga and stuff, and the DCU and what's going on with that. I don't know what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just kind of sketching to see this looks weird right now, but it's going to be taller. So I don't know how well this sketch is going to translate because I'm just trying to think of general shape ideas that might be interesting or cool. And I'm intentionally not trying to make it look good because I don't think it matters. So right here, we can actually have the train station part of it, which I believe should work out fine. We'll find out when we get there. And then this part, this is actually a little bit similar to the game. We could actually put another arch here. We have a little arch here that goes over this. This would be a glass roof here. Put a lot of those copper decorations and I don't think they're called Art Deco. I don't really know what you'd call the whole glass botanical garden copper extravagant look. I guess it's Victorian but with steel. Anyway, so on top of this part, we're gonna do the actual struts of the building, and I want to make sure that we keep the base pretty large when we get up here. And then we can do our first kind of, I'm just going to instinctually just start drawing. How can we make this unique? How can we make this different from the game? I might do another kind of canopy, or maybe I should make that another layer of the... There is one thing I actually want to do at the top that is not in the game. I want to make the tower itself wider and bigger than the one that's in the game. And at the top, I want to have like a enclosed glass area room observation deck, and this is like a tourist destination. We could do something kind of cool where we actually end these pillars here. Alright, so these pillars end, and then there's other pillars that show up. Yeah, so the Wayne Tower only has a train station, so we only need to connect it up to the train station. I might just make it like a single line instead of it being like a cross-section junction. And I know this like looks skinny, but consider that like this is going to be bigger than, like this base is bigger than the games. So this part up here, there would be an elevator. I'm not sure how this would work yet. I guess there would be an inner core here as well. There would be an elevator that you would ride all the way up to the top. And this is like an observation deck. We could even have balconies here. This is the sketch we're going to work with. Okay, so I went ahead and carved out that road that was supposed to go underground. So the thing I want to kind of improve on in this video is actually being faster, just generally being faster. I'm going to start out with the base color, which is going to be this like gray. I need to make sure that the windows are actually going to work out. So let's do every 3. All right, so I'm noticing that this corner is just not going to work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, and then I need to copy that onto the other side. So I did say that I would talk about some of the DCU news. The Superman trailer dropped recently, and I was fairly surprised by it. I'm not a huge Superman fan, so I wasn't like crazy hyped for it or anything. I think it looks great. It has a really good vibe to it that I really like, and I love the color scheme. There were some people, or at least I heard there were some people saying that there wasn't any like color grading, and I don't really know what the hell they're talking about, because there definitely is. Like, it's very clear that there's color grading. If they're trying to compare it to like the Batman, that's a very untraditional version of color grading. The Batman color grading is like super intense color grading that you don't really see very often. What they're doing in the Superman movie is a lot more subtle. They're going for primary colors, so they're going for blue, yellow, and red. I love the actors. We have David Corenswet as Superman and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I love Nicholas Hoult, so I'm actually so excited. Along with the Superman trailer, there's been a lot of discussion about whether the Batman, like Robert Pattinson Batman, should be in the DCU. There's been the delays of both the Batman to 2027. It's not called the Batman Part 2, apparently. I hope it's not a bad name. It's been taking a while to get the script. Apparently the script's not even done. And then the Batman Brave and the Bold movie that was going to be the DCU's version of Batman also got delayed. Apparently James Gunn is not fully happy with the script yet. A lot of people have been discussing whether Robert Pattinson should be in the DCU. Apparently he's fine with being in the DCU. James Gunn is also apparently up for it. The problem is that they don't want to confirm it yet, and they don't want to do it because Matt Reeves is kind of unsure at the moment. Me personally, if you asked me a few years ago, like, if I would have wanted, like, a Superman to exist in the Batman universe, I would have immediately said no. That's weird because Batman's super realistic and all of that stuff. Superman's too fantastical. But I realize that there's a lot of hypocrisy in that because, like, I'm constantly asking for more fantastical elements to the Batman. And, in fact, there's a video that I want to make that will kind of go into, like, the dichotomy of, like, the way that we describe quote-unquote realism, like what is realistic and what is fantastical, and we kind of just throw the term around a lot, and I don't think it means anything really anymore. I've come to realize that The Dark Knight, the one that I really criticize a lot, and you know, there's stuff I love about the Dark Knight trilogy, especially Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, and one of the things I don't really like about it is I don't like how the city looks. I don't like that it's just Chicago and it's boring, and like when you look back on the Tim Burton films, that Gotham was so cool, it was so interesting. And then when you go to like The Dark Knight, it's just like, why even call this Gotham City if it's just gonna be New York City? But I've started to realize that, like, do I actually know what I'm talking about? Because when you really break it down, the Batman is the more realistic version of Batman. not the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the less realistic version, but the Batman, the new movie, has a more interesting setting. The city is more interesting. It's more realistic, but it's still more interesting. At this point in time, I actually would love to have the new David Superman exist in the Robert universe. Like, I don't think it would actually bother me that much. I just think in terms of making the DCU actually consistent, unlike the Snyderverse, it would be so freaking bizarre to have two Batmen in the same medium, by the way, exist at the same time. It would just be so weird. Like, why do that? It also seems like the characters are going through some, like, similar things. Like, Superman is going to be dealing with the public image of himself, dealing with, like, the issues of humanity and the human condition. I think that that relates just perfectly with the Batman universe. I can see this working extremely well. And when I say that they're connected, I absolutely do not want like references. I want the Batman saga, like when the Batman 2 comes out and they announce that it's a part of the same universe as the Superman, I don't want there to be a single reference other than like a small Easter egg that Superman exists. But they can still exist in the same universe, as long as they keep the movies separated and kind of in their own little world. They're very easy to watch without having to watch other movies, and they don't always constantly reference each other like Marvel does. I think that would be perfect. I think that would be amazing. So yeah, like absolutely put them in the same universe. I think that would be so interesting, and I'd love to see them alongside each other. Batman is in his early years, you know, maybe Superman hasn't even come into existence in the Batman universe yet. You know, we're talking about like year 2 or 3 or whatever in the Batman universe, so of course his suit is very gritty and realistic. I'm sure it could evolve into something that is more fantastical, that would fit in with like the Justice League and stuff. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of already taken a few creative liberties here in terms of the sketch. So the sketch didn't really have these kind of pillars here. This means that the platform, or like the first platform where the monorail station is, can be a lot larger than it is in the game. So let's raise this up a little bit more, because I kind of want it to be comparable to Wayne Tower. I think there might be another building here, so I'm only going to focus on Grand Avenue Station for this episode, because I can already tell that this is going to take a really long time to do. So now I'm going to raise this up again. And there's not really much else I can do in terms of expanding it. I might be able to expand it forward. I don't know. This kind of gap here in terms of the sidewalk it's kind of thin. So I don't know if that's really going to be a possibility. Okay, so this is what I have so far. We have these platforms, which turned out to be bigger than the concept. Trying to make it as tall as possible at the moment. I think it'll be a slight bit taller than Wayne Tower, I hope, or at least as tall as Wayne Tower. So the thing is, I need to figure out where I'm going to put these big base pillars that needs to be in a square formation. I'm not sure if these pillars are big enough, but I think it's fine. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and start raising them up. Okay, I might have overshot it, actually. I think it's gonna be taller than Wayne Tower for sure. Actually, I don't think there's a problem with overshooting it. I wanted it to be taller. So that is about, I'm looking at the reference to see, there's gonna be a little bit more to it at the top here that I'll just signify. And I don't even really need to be making all 4 sides at this point. So this is where the Grand Avenue sign would actually be, is right here. Yeah, this is absolutely going to be taller than Wayne Tower. This is going to look cool as hell. You know, I really wanted there to be like crazy tall buildings, crazy tall skyscrapers. So the thing is, there's going to be another platform like right here. This thing goes really high up. So I'm just now thinking about like, so this is the elevator to the top. And you might be wondering like, how do they get from this platform to this platform? And I'm thinking that we just have elevators in these pillars, and then you would get out like right here. This is kind of weird, so bear with me on this one. But if I remove this and I had some kind of like hanging structure, a bizarre like gothic hanging spike, I don't know. Then again, like how do they use the elevators? So like how do they get up there is the question. We could have an elevator, but it doesn't have like a traditional shaft, like it's just like a fenced elevator where from far away you can't really tell. Okay, so now I got to do the actual curved part of the, I don't know what you'd call this, the frame. And there's gonna be, so there's another platform here, and then there's like a glass part. Might be curving in a little bit too fast, maybe. Actually, no, I think that's good. And then, so right here, I'll actually, this is where it'll stop. We're really working with not a lot of room at this point. Technically, this is where the glass part would be that I was planning for, but there's just not even enough room anymore. That's kind of unfortunate. I could turn this entire part into the glass section. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm back and I took a little bit of a break yesterday, and I'm coming back to this looking at it for the first time, and I'm honestly really excited, but low-key, I kind of want to make it a little bit taller. I think we could possibly extend the base, like the very, very bottom base, because if you think about it, here is the train tracks. I feel like we could raise up the train station part. It feels like the train's gonna just like hit the ceiling here. So obviously that is way too large, so I'm probably just gonna raise this up. Actually, that's a fine height. I might just lower this back down, this part, and I actually want to raise this up. This part right here is absolutely something I want to change. Definitely need to just lower the whole thing. And then I want to actually raise this up. I'm thinking that we just have this go all the way up so that there's more building, you know? And we could add like other, like we could add like a hole here eventually, or like balconies of some sort. Okay, so finally we can actually get to the detailing stage, and I'm actually going to focus on a specific part at a time. See, I could do like a ledge like this. You know what? Why not? Why not do a ledge? Okay, so at this point, I am gonna just focus on a single corner because just no reason to like do every single corner if I can just copy and paste it. I think this section is probably, I could erase, I could start doing the carve method. Yeah, that works. Okay, we got that down, and then this actually, I could add some detail to this by also carving it out. Okay, we're actually getting somewhere with this detail. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. I'm gonna do that everywhere. So, okay, the middle's not really gonna work, but that's okay. I'll just make it 4. We need to have a door here, so I'm gonna actually have, there'll be 2 doors. There'll be a door here. There we go. And then it'll copy and paste, there'll be another door. Okay, so make it a little bit, I guess, gothic, I don't know. This top part here needs to be, like, this has got to be glass. Boom. And you can kind of imagine how it'll be changed. It is dark. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. And then up here, I actually wanted to do like a design of some sort. Something like that. That's really fancy. I don't know if that fits the vibe. So I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do here, but I think I'm gonna do some like kind of arch. Actually, I don't think I should do an arch because I don't want to cover up the glass dome thing. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go with that, and then we'll just put like spotlights on the top of it. Should there be some kind of like intersection to this? I think it would be cool, so I'm gonna do it. Boom. That looks really cool. I don't want it to look too much like a church, but it's kind of hard to be specific using voxels. So now we're at the actual monorail station. We also need stairs, because how are they gonna get here? And there'll be elevators on this wall. So where should the stairs be? So I'm gonna put stairs here, and then there'll be something going on there. I don't know yet what it is, but there will be something. Elevators, I'm gonna put one here. Do another one there. Boom. So each side would have, so there'd be a total of 8 elevators on top of here. This is very like, can we talk about how dangerous this would be? Being up here and you could just jump off. Like, do they need nets? That's a little dark. I don't want to be that dark, but geez, this is very tall. So yeah, there's the elevators on these pillars. So we need an actual elevator entrance, which I will put here. There we go. Bit of an Art Deco design, I guess. I think that's pretty much good. Now we need to figure out how the heck they're gonna get to the actual monorail part. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's like a big old bus. Now the real question is, like, do we want to connect like this platform to this platform over here? Basically, this is the connection point. So you'd have to go down the stairs to get to the other platform, but they're at least connected. And actually, what's cool about this elevator is then you have elevator access right here. We could have a doorway here, which would lead over to the elevator access to get up to this platform. Well, actually, that doesn't make sense because I have an idea. There's a bridge. There's a small little bridge here. Boom. Small little bridge that no one's gonna notice. See, this is the attention of detail that I add. This is what I'm offering here. Elevator access to the disabled. I'm a genius. This is gonna take a while to color. This is a very large building. I was not really expecting... I mean, I knew it was gonna be a big one, but oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's not big enough. A bigger clock. Okay, so honestly, this section was really tedious, so I didn't really talk much, but that's kind of what I came up with. I'm not sure if it makes sense. These would be like chains or like big cables, but it's voxels, so they're gonna be giant bulky cables, I guess. Alright, so the next section we need to work on is this upper part. This is where the actual Grand Avenue sign would be. Not sure if I'm able to fit Grand Avenue. I probably should try. And there needs to be an elevator entrance here, so yeah, this needs to come out pretty far. So I'll probably just do something like this. This would be like the coolest building in existence if this was real. And I'm actually excited to do this part because I want to do... In this sketch, there's like globes on top of them. I feel like a lot of these buildings are just going to be like references for the Gotham Edifice project, maybe. Put little spikes here. That is epic. Yeah, so there's gonna be like an elevator here. I might actually, in the game, I know that these extend down, hit the floor, like just the edge pillars. That's what that looks like. I don't think that'll look too bad. It's a kind of exterior elevator. Elevators always have this kind of like underside. They never hit the ground. Okay, so the elevator itself. How do I want to do this? I could make it circular. But I want the elevator to be open to the air, but also it's hard to do that with voxels. A lot of stuff going on this building. And then this is the elevator going through this big tube. I could actually make it somewhat hollow, but have like designs on it. Let's see, what does this look like if I just do like a checkered pattern? I mean, it could work. I think it could work. So at this point, there is a bunch of spikes. That works. That looks not bad. This is gonna be like a glass area, glass section. Alright, now we have our cable in. I think I'm pretty much done. I'm not gonna do too much up here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste it on all four sides, and we'll see like what we're looking at. Alright, this is what we're cooking with so far. It looks really freaking cool. This looks really freaking good. The train station actually turned out better than I thought it would. Got the actual monorail station. I forgot to put railings here. Hold on. This looks so detailed already, even without color. I don't know how the color's gonna take forever. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the coloring. Probably gonna be a time lapse. There's probably not much to talk about since the structure is done. So you'll see the process, but sped up. Okay, so I finally finished the coloring and this looks really freaking good. It looks so cool in comparison with the other buildings because this is exactly the vibe I wanted. Like, this is only 3 buildings you're seeing right now, but this is the vibe that I wanted with Gotham City and Arkham Knight and the final Arkham game, or just any, any game that has Gotham City in it. I want it to have this like unreal height to it, and like, just imagine jumping off Wayne Tower and then gliding through the train station. I'm honestly thinking that Wayne Tower is going to need a revamp because you can see that it's not as detailed. Like, I put a lot more detail into Grand Avenue Station than any other building I've done so far. You can also tell the colors are pretty different on that block. That's probably something I'm gonna focus on later. I'm not really gonna worry too much about how the monorail is being supported at the moment. The last thing I need to do, and this is really important for our render, because we haven't even seen this in the render. This is the flat, crappy shading that we're looking at right now. We need to put lighting on this. There is no lighting, so we need to color in the windows and put in some lamps and stuff like that. Now we're gonna do the Grand Avenue sign. I'm not actually sure if this is even gonna fit. We can find out. I'm just gonna do it in like very basic text and then we'll change it. That doesn't look that bad. Just some decorations. Okay, there's my interpretation. Actually, I could probably just make this a taller like that. Okay, so before I do the final render, there's one more thing. The last thing I want to do is actually make these monorails. So I'm gonna just change the whole thing to green. And then we can put in our windows, which will be this. Now I want to actually put in that orange. And then we can do another orange. There we go. And then the very top of it could have some, like a really dark green. Put this one like over here and then also at the station already, like that. One way over here or something. There's a lot. Actually, this doesn't even really make sense. You wouldn't have them back to back. It looks cool, so we'll keep it for now. Okay guys, I just rendered out all of the images and holy crap, this building is insane. The city itself, you'll see a screenshot of like really far away with the map, the diagram as well. And you could just tell, like, imagine an entire island with this. It looks so real. It looks so freaking real with the ray tracing. You can't tell it's voxels. The lamps on the street just look like actual lamps. Everything looks so real. And it looks incredible. Like the height, you can already feel the height difference from Arkham Knight. Grand Avenue Station would probably end in the actual game. Grand Avenue is probably end at this clock. Because I'm going for like a mountain shape for this city. I want it to be crazy. I want this to be tall. I want it to remind you of the Arkham City background. Please let me know like what you think. What locations do you want me to get to next? I'm currently thinking like probably continuing on this part of Miyagani just so that we can get this kind of section of the city done. I also really do want to thank anyone who has supported this channel in the past. Again, here are the names of the people who have supported me so far. You can support me by doing a super thanks on this video, or you can donate to me on Ko-Fi, and there's two different options. You can use PayPal to donate as well. You could also go over to the Gotham Edifice project. It's on Planet Minecraft, or Heir of Azrael's channel, where we also have a Ko-Fi. If I haven't explained Gotham Edifice, like we're basically doing a whole adventure map, like a whole Batman game. We're working on chapter 1 right now, like we're writing it, developing it, mechanics, all that type of stuff, so it's gonna be really cool. I'm rambling on, there's so much I could shout out, but thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.